Sometimes when you move to a new country, you come with this picture in your mind of how life is going to be like. But when you are on the ground, like when you arrive in Canada, you find that the real journey can be so different from what you imagined. Hi. Welcome to Judith's Corner. If you are new here, my name is Judith, and on this platform, I love sharing conversations around money, career growth, real experiences of an immigrant who is navigating life in Canada. And today, I have a guest with me who is just going to share these reflections as we share our experiences. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Desire, and I am Judith's husband. I'm happy to be joining this platform today. Happy to be on Judith's Corner this afternoon.
Thank you, Desire, for coming. Guys, I had to convince him, and he's a busy man, but well, I want to thank him for coming to do this with me today. So the first thing that I would say is, like I said, when you are coming to Canada, I know that we all come with expectations. We have already this picture in our mind, sometimes from the videos that we see, sometimes from the research that we carry out. But the reality sometimes is so different from what we expected. Life, sometimes when you come to Canada, it doesn't always turn out the way we planned it to be. So it is very important that as you are coming, you come with an open mind, you come with a spirit that is willing to learn, a spirit that is willing to adjust. Whether you are coming as an individual, as a couple, or as a family, there's a lot of adjustment, and it's a learning curve. And like I said, the reality is always different from what you built up in your mind. So you need to come prepared. And this is one of the first lessons that we learned when we came, that what we saw or what we thought is not what it really is on the ground. I'll let Desire talk about another lesson.
Yeah, thank you very much. And learning curve, I will pick it up from there. You never stop learning. You are in a continuous learning mode. Yes. And this environment and Canadian society has a lot of things that challenge. They stretch us far beyond our abilities and far beyond the education that we have acquired. I mean, we came from Zimbabwe, lived in Congo, we brought our experience, but there is just a lot to learn about technology, to learn about weather, a lot to learn about communication with other people, interculturalism. So you have to have that mind which is very flexible and not rigid, but willing to learn.
For sure, and it's a learning curve. You keep learning every day. And as for me, I believe that learning is a continual process. We never stop learning anyway, whether we are in Canada or wherever you are. And another major lesson that we learned is that sometimes you realize that you have to start from the bottom, because immigration, it's a big decision in itself, because you are leaving everything that you know, moving to a new country where you are going to meet new people. So you are starting afresh. You are starting to build a life again in a new culture that is different from what you know. So you are forming new relationships. Sometimes you have to, start a new career. Like he said, you have to grow. Sometimes when you come, you are not going to find a job that you trained for, and you have to start from, doing those survival jobs. It's not easy, it's difficult, and it builds resilience. I think that immigrants are, people who are very strong, like in terms of, as you grow your mindset and the experiences that you go through, you just have to grow. You just have to be resilient, because you are starting afresh, and starting afresh is not always easy.
Yeah, about starting afresh and learning, that's a beautiful topic. There are few things that I have learned from this culture. I remember when I worked in Zimbabwe and also in Congo, when it rains, it was so easy not to come to work, like it's bad weather. But I've learned from the Canadian culture that the culture here, which is a very important factor to understand culture, the work ethic and the work culture. We still go to work. You are still expected to be there on time, and all the work, even if you stay at home, you still have to do your duties. So those are some of the things that we have to learn from being a little bit complacent to a place where you are expected to perform, no matter what the weather is. So that's part of being here. We still continue learning how to drive. Like I came here driving all my life, but I didn't know how to drive in Canada. You have to learn how to drive. When you communicate in English, we speak English from Zimbabwe, but many people don't hear your English. So you got to learn how to speak so people can hear you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, also finances. Do you want to expand on that? Like when it comes to finance?
There's a lot about finances, financial discipline. When you come here, I remember my pay slip in Zimbabwe, they used to write underneath, live according to your means. So it's a little bit even more tough here. If you are not disciplined, you may not be able to pay the bills, and the bills come in a huge number, and you may not be able again to meet other needs or end up in debt. So there is a lot of discipline. You limit what you eat, your groceries. You got to sit down to the budget and re-budget and budget again, so that at least you'll be able to save something. There's need for what they call financial discipline here.
Yeah. And also learning the systems. I'm always saying that, like, the Canadian system, there are so many financial tools that you can use. You need to understand the system. You need to be financially, literate, financially educated, so that you understand the credit card system. I recently did a video about credit cards. It's a whole lot of new things that you need to learn. And remember, we said we are coming in here as immigrants. The goal is for us to thrive and succeed. So we are coming with an open mind to learn, to succeed, and then be able to thrive. And one other point also that is very important, or another lesson that we've learned along the way, is that there's a lot of parental, or should I say family adjustment that is needed when you move to Canada. If you move as a family, if you have kids, you will find that it's a learning curve. Every day you are learning, because as you adjust as parents, kids also are adjusting. They are going to new schools, they are meeting, making new friends. It's a new culture. They will bring in some of the values or whatever they are learning from outside. And I mean, as a parent, you just need to be present and to help your kids along the way. And as you do that, you are also growing. Like we said, even your mindset around parenting changes. And also we were talking about how even as a family, you need to come together. Do you want to expand on that?
Well, I can expound on that. Community is a very important thing here. Otherwise, if you are not flexible and willing and open-minded to build communities of people around you, they could be workmates, they could be church acquaintances, or people you know from Africa or from other communities, you will live alone and you will fall into depression and you will feel isolated. So community building is a very important factor to be able to stay connected with other people from your country and connect across countries, connect with other people from various countries, and be able to even link with Canadians and go for their sports. There's no soccer here, but there is just a lot that happens in Canada, and the Canadians are so excited. Join the excitement and be willing to always learn. That's how that kind of attitude will help you eventually to be part of a community.
You are right. It's really an identity and mindset shift. And I mean, these are some of the lessons that we've learned along the way. Canada is big. Canada has a lot of opportunities that we can all benefit from when we come in as immigrants. What is important is for you to come in with an open mind, and you need to know that there is a lot of adjustment, learning, relearning every day, so that you can thrive in this community or in this country. Otherwise, I hope you benefited something. We just wanted to highlight some of the lessons that we've learned along the way after 4 years in Canada. So I hope this gives you something that you can build and reflect on as you continue to navigate life in Canada. Otherwise, until next time, and thank you for watching.
Bye.